Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our November Discmemberment, where we're going to run down all of the Blu-ray titles coming out in November. Horror titles, that is. I am your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And we have about, I think, like a quarter of, like a fourth
Yeah.
of what we had in October, right? We had almost...
Yeah, thankfully we caught a break here in November. I guess they spent their load on October.
I think they ran out of movies, period. That's what it is.
Although there are some really good titles this month.
No, there is.
out.
I mean, of course, you got the holidays coming up. See, it's like people forget, like, for horror fans, they think, like, it begins and ends in October. But really, it's like, with all these special editions coming out for the holidays, that continues. So it's basically from, I mean, of course, for us, it's year-round, but, like, for even just the average horror fan, it's from October to... You get from October all the way to December because you're getting all excited for the holidays and you're asking for cool... Blu-ray sets and everything. So,
yeah, that's what I like about the Discmemberments towards the end of the year, because I can just throw these instantly on my Amazon wish list.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going this year. I'm just like everything I don't buy is going on that list.
Yep. All right, well, let's get right into it. These are our Blu-ray releases for November 3rd. And starting right out of the gate is one that I've really wanted to see. This is from Lionsgate Films, Antebellum, from this year. And it didn't get the greatest reviews, but I'm not sure if that's just because it's a horror movie, and horror movies in general don't get great reviews sometimes. But the trailer and stuff looks really good. The description here is, successful author Veronica finds herself trapped in a horrifying reality and must uncover the mind-bending mystery before it's too late. And this one definitely has some, I think it was produced by the same people that did Get Out and Us, and it definitely has that racial, social commentary and stuff to it.
Yeah, and I also think, though, this didn't... I want to say maybe this didn't do good because wasn't this one of the ones that was the movie that was right about to come out right when all the theaters shut down? Like, I kind of remember this, like, going to be one of the first big horror movies after Invisible Man, and I kind of remember it, like, just the theaters just shutting down, like, right before this was about to come out. So that might have kind of almost like, took a collateral hit. Like that, like when you're playing asteroids and then you take the shot and then the one asteroid goes off, hits another asteroid and kind of floats around out there and then you'll get it later. I think that's kind of what happened with this maybe. Because I know everyone, not just horror fans, but I mean, everyone was saying that was like how cool this movie looked, and for it not to do good, it just came out. I think it was a bad time. So then when it finally was released, I think it might have just been just a bad timing for it.
Yeah, it does have some pretty good extras here. It's got The History in Front of Us, Deconstructing Antebellum, which is a 2-part documentary. It's got A Hint of Horror, The Clues of Antebellum, Opening Antebellum, and deleted scenes and theatrical trailers. Yes. So not bad for a new release.
Isn't there a sequel already called Uncle Bellum coming out? Oh, that was bad. Okay.
That was really bad.
Yeah, you're in for a treat tonight with my... I'm like been... like that mental mindset of the stress of the month ahead here is waning on my sense of humor. I don't know.
All right, so what we got up next, Brian?
So the next one is by Kino Lorber, and that's The Veil from 2016. This is a weird one because I kind of remember it, but then when I watched the trailer, I don't remember it at all, and I'm like, how did I miss this? But I kind of remember like the Thomas Jane like character, what he looked like. But I know I didn't see it at the same time. It's very weird. So I must have just seen something on it. But anyway, so this is 25 years after members of a religious cult committed a mass suicide. The lone survivor returns to the scene of the tragedy with a documentary crew in tow. So that's kind of got a cool like plot point to it. The trailer looked really fun, and is definitely one that I want to check out. And I mean, the disc is decent. I mean, for one of these just regular Kino Lorber releases, got a new audio commentary by director Phil Journeau, and a new interview with co-star Thomas Jane. So, and a trailer and some reversible art. That's like seems like reversible art is like the new like what's that thing, like the new like where they just have the picture, like the images. Remember, like the lobby images or the lobby art or the photo.
Yeah.
Like it's like that's the
Yeah.
new like thing. It's in every disc now.
I feel like I could just paste reversible art under extras for each of these.
Yeah,
and not be wrong 90% of the time.
Yeah, it's more like it. Like I think it like all the discs start with that, and then they remove it if need be. But,
this one has a cult element, so it's an instant watch for me for sure.
Well, we loved Welcome to the Circle, so there was.
Yeah. All right, next up from Shout Factory, Let's Scare Julie, which is Brian should have taken this one.
I
this
know.
One's from 2020.
Well, especially because she I live this life because I scare her every time a new Blu-ray arrives to the monolith. She gets she's like, oh God, what's next? So.
I couldn't find any extras for this one, but it's about a group of teen girls who set out to scare their reclusive new neighbor, but the prank turns to terror when some of them don't come back. And I instantly recognized Isabel May from the Alexa and Katie series.
Wasn't she also on Young Sheldon? Didn't she play like the brother's love interest on Young Sheldon?
I haven't watched Young Sheldon actually. I'm a bad Big Bang Theory fan. I haven't watched that one.
Oh, Young Sheldon is awesome.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty good. But the kids watch Alexa and Katie all the time, so I was very familiar with her when she came on screen. I was like, good for her.
Okay, it is Isabel May. Yeah, that's the one from that is the one from Young Sheldon. She plays Veronica.
Cool. Yeah, so not much extras on here. I don't know much about the movie really. The trailer was still to me a little vague. So,
yeah, I mean, what's weird is, and I'm not judging this movie by any means because I'm sure it's probably actually pretty good. It seems like that little plot point is almost like something you'd find almost in an anthology or a sequence of a movie, where like, oh, let's play a prank on on our friend kind of thing. But then it goes haywire. But but then again, it's like how do you judge that movie without that one's hard to see. And the trailer did a good job of getting you just enough of a plot to know what you're in for. But definitely looked decent. I mean. So I would give it a watch. Oh, next one I guess is the our pick of the week. So I'll skip that. And then we get to Retro Media. I think we've had them before, but this one I guess is a double feature. I couldn't find a trailer for either one of these when I was looking.
Well, the Ape Man we covered last Discmemberment. They released that as a single time.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I knew that sounded familiar. And then so I guess Doomed to Die is the addition of it. But so it says, conducting weird scientific experiments, crazed Dr. James Brewster, aided by his colleague. Aided by his colleague, Dr. Randall, he's managed to transform himself into a hairy, stooped-over ape man. Just sounds funny. I don't know the way they said it. Desperately seeking a cure, Brewster believes only an injection of recently drawn human spinal fluid will prove effective. With Randall refusing to help him, it falls to Brewster and his captive gorilla to find appropriate donors. It's like all I think of is Monty Brewster when I see Brewster, from Brewster's Millions. So you went to the trailer and found the entire movie. I didn't even find that. I think because I think I searched the Ape Man Doomed to Die as one word. One sentence.
I looked up the trailer. Well, we'd already seen the trailer for the Ape Man, so
it disappeared. I couldn't find it this time. I don't know how did we find it last time? That's so weird.
I don't know, but I looked up Doomed to Die and I found the entire movie on YouTube.
You know what? I have to tell you, there's like a 50-50 chance of that now with these older movies. I've noticed that.
It really is.
So many times I go to look for a trailer and it's like a 5-minute extended scene because I guess trailers weren't much of a thing then. And so, I mean, I know there were trailers, but it may have been, some older trailers, if you notice, literally could be just a scene. Anyway, so but I noticed with YouTube especially, oh my God, so many times I'm looking there and it's like full movie, and then it's like not full movie, so I go look at it and it's like some guy like talking about it with stills, and I'm like, no, I don't want this. This is not helpful.
I guess they figure the Ape Man producers are dead now, and they don't have to worry about getting copyright infringement.
Yeah, maybe. It's like so funny how random. Like they just have the full movie just shown for all to see. But
so next is from Uncorked.
I know you totally have to say it that way because it's like the E's not there. It's like that.
This one's called They Reach, and it's from this year, and I really like this trailer.
Yeah,
right? In 1979, a young girl stumbles upon a possessed tape player. She unknowingly unleashes a demonic entity that haunts her family while slowly dragging the small town of Clarkston to hell. And from the trailer, it starts off looking very family friendly in a way. With it looks like, I'll put on the rundown notes, sort of a more female centric version of Stranger Things.
Yeah, like a Stranger Things meets Super 8 meets Goonies, even a little bit in there, kind of. Yeah, it's like all that kind of like whimsy in there, basically.
But then it's like punctuated with like some hardcore gore stuff. So
yeah, and then it goes back. That's the thing. Then it goes back to this like serene music playing, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe that was just, and then dun, 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 again, like it's really like it's such an intriguing trailer because you still don't quite know what this movie's trying to be yet, which is interesting. And it's funny. It could be that like the trailer was just edited so poorly it was edited well. You know what I'm saying? It's so fragmented that it actually ended up working rather than having a more fluid trailer. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely they got my attention. I'll tell you that.
Oh, it looks great. Yeah, go look for the trailer.
I never even heard of it though. That's what's crazy. You never even heard of this thing.
Yeah, that's what's great about this year, though. You get these movies that come out of nowhere that you've never heard of. Yeah.
Well, I wonder. I always wonder this because, it's like, obviously productions have ramped up now again. I mean, you're getting new shows like literally there was a new Goldbergs last week. I couldn't believe it. So you're getting new content still now that's being made. So, but I'm wondering if there were some movies that were like either supposed to be released later on. And since some of the bigger movies got pushed back, they kind of pulled these in and like rushed them out, or like they quickly they're just things that maybe they were shelving altogether. And then like, what, we need to release something here. Let's release these because some of these, I remember when we did our 2020 preview, so many of these weren't on there. But here's the thing. It's like, it's not like the majority of them could have been created this year to come out as a surprise. Because, movies take a while to make. It's no secret. But, of course, with COVID shutting things down for at least 6 months before things started to reopen to film again, where was they filming? I mean, it's like, yes, obviously host. But, the rest of it, this stuff had to have been already filmed. So I'd love someone to do when this is all over, if it ever is, I swear at this point. But when it's finally well past, I'd love to see individual documentaries on not just, COVID and all its stuff and, different things, but like on different industries on how it's just, specifically affected. Of course, for us, like something on Hollywood and like that would be that would be so interesting just to see,
And I think, too, we're also probably noticing a lot more than that. Like, this one might have gone completely under the radar before, but because there's so few things coming out, it gets spotlighted now,
Yeah.
Because,
I mean, it's so many ways and reasons why these, like, are out. I mean, you know what? I mean, at the end, if we can get some kind of wins out of these things, of these releases coming out and we get movies we never thought we'd see and then we love them, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, it's leveled the playing field. I know Chris Gore says that a lot on the Film Threat podcast, that this whole COVID mess has really leveled the playing field for indie films because now they don't have to compete against the big budget blockbusters. They can just go out there and release their films, and people are starved for entertainment, so they're giving these films a chance that they might not otherwise have done.
Yeah.
All right, so Brian, what is our pick of the week? This is kind of a weird pick of the week for us.
Yeah, I mean, but we both agreed on it. But I think I'll tell you one thing. Like, immediately, the visual of the trailer that we watched for this just, like, blew me away from a movie that is made from 1924. And this thing looked like almost it was made today and made to look like it was made in 1924. It was that crisp. Did you get that? Did you see how crisp that was? And anyway, I guess I should probably tell you. It's from Flicker Alley, and it's Waxworks from 1924. And it's a wax museum hires a writer to give the sculptors stories. The writer imagines himself and the museum owner's daughter in the stories. And so, but the first imagery you see in this trailer is like this green, like everything's green. Almost looks like but not night vision green, like a sharp, bright green. Like super colorful with, and it was obviously done after the fact because, they didn't have color films back then. So it was really just really cool. But even then, it went to some black and white footage, and that was so sharp. I don't know. Like, I don't know if they must have spent just. They must have just, and it says 2K restoration of the film. How was that 2K? It was so amazing. But and I was like, I'm like, I might have to buy this just for this alone. And so this has got as Tim puts an 1892 snowball fight on there.
I gotta explain that.
Yeah.
So, somebody had posted on Facebook this clip of an 1892 snowball fight film. It was basically people in the streets throwing snowballs at each other, but they had colorized it and they had slowed it down. You know how the film back then was like super fast?
Yeah.
But they had slowed it down and normalized the speed. And it was so utterly fascinating to watch because all of a sudden it looked like real people. I mean, not that people like that don't look real, but everything from that time period, you're used to seeing it A, in black and white, and B, like comically sped up.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like quote unquote real. And when they did this and fixed it so that it looks like real video, it looks like something that could have been shot yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing because all of a sudden, like, it just snaps in your mind, these were real people. And this is what it really looked like back then. And it's like a glimpse into history it's almost like taking a time machine back. And that's what it reminded me of when I saw this trailer, that clip I had just watched a couple of days ago. I'll have to try to find it for you, Brian, because it's really, really fascinating.
Yeah,
I love when they do like colorization, which also reminds me, somebody had posted a Facebook meme which made me laugh. It was talking about it was a shot of Janet Leigh in the car driving in Psycho, and it said in older movies, driving scenes were very dangerous because the actors couldn't tell if the light was red or green because it was in black and white.
Oh my god!
I don't know. I probably worded that terribly, but it was funny.
No, I didn't. But so anyway, yeah. So like we said, it's a 2K restoration of the film, and this is great. This has got an audio commentary on here, Tim, by a Australian film arts and critic, Adrian Martin, and I did a little research on him.
Oh,
and,
Lord.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, supposedly, the quote was from a buddy of his. He said, "This guy's the most entertaining film critic from down under. In fact, his buddies call him Crocodile Fundy." So, yeah, so this guy's probably, like, got the most awesome commentary ever, you know? Can you imagine what this commentary must be like?
Crikey.
Yeah. Like,
all right, ladies. Let's get to waxworks.
It's like, I'm opening up my fourth Forster in the evening, and we're only in scene 2.
This was made in 1924. My brother does. He does this character called the Australian yoga instructor.
Oh my god!
You've got to hear this. It's so funny. But he'll be like, "All right, ladies, let's get down in the fighting wallaby stance."
Oh my god! Well, considering that we probably alienated anybody from Australia that will never talk to us ever again.
We've got Australian listeners.
We'll have to, we'll have to rely on Kevin to be his characters, our whole Australian audience.
How could we let that go and not do some bad?
I'm
Australian
sorry.
accents,
Yeah, you can't, especially when it literally says featuring Australian film and arts.
We didn't put that on there.
I didn't make him up. I didn't make him Australian. And come on, who does it? You know, they all say. Okay, even Paul Hogan jokes about stuff like that. Yeah. But anyway, so there's a lot of stuff on here. I don't know, but so it's like Paul Lenny's Rebus films, number 1 through 8, courtesy of Kino Lorber. These Lenny Helm cinematic crossword puzzles were originally screened in 1920s German cinemas and featurettes accompanying the main film. As featurettes accompanying the main film. Each of these animated shorts was split into 2 parts, a clue and an answer, and presented before and after the feature presentation. And you know what's funny? That's continued till not so long ago.
That's the screen. What is it?
The screen gems or whatever, right? Screen scenes or whatever, right?
Yeah, or whatever it was. I don't. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the screen. I keep wanting to say Screen Rant, but that's a website.
No, yeah, but it's like you know, where you get and everyone would shout out, and it's of course like, you know, if you used to go to the movies a lot, you'd like see the same question and answers for like what felt like an eternity for 6 months straight. But I'll tell you, nothing tops. I mean, I don't know if I told this story before, but I remember there used to be this one theater that we used to go to. I think it got revamped now, and even since this, they had fixed it anyway. But literally, the pre-show entertainment was literally like this long, like silent film of puddles. They played music in the background, but it was literally like puddles in slow motion.
What?
Yeah, literally, you just sat there until they were ready to start showing you the trailers, and so you'd sit there and you'd be like, "What the." Why? Like, to me, I don't understand why you just cannot walk in and it's just perpetual trailer after trailer. With all the technology we have, they should literally you should walk into theater and the other trailers should be good. Now, maybe not first run trailers, like the ones that, you want everyone to be in their seat for, but like, why not just loop old, cool, classic trailers while you're waiting?
Well, what I hate is you go in there and it's communications, like television commercials.
Oh, well, that's the new thing. Yeah. Now, I remember there was so funny though. There was this one sequence when my brother Adam used to joke at this one. We'd always used to go in and like when we'd always go see the movies, there was always the same like print ads on the thing, like, for this, rent this theater, and it was this, and then like my brother would always just like commentate through them, and then there was always this one where this guy was this real estate guy and he was shouting with his hand, and then it had a picture of a house kind of like placed an ad so bad that it looked like it was going to go into the guy's mouth. So my brother says, "And now I will proudly eat this house," and he would always say it out loud, and like everyone around us would crack up. So it was pretty good. But yeah, it was like, and there was always this one person, there's this, I forgot the name, but there was always this one person's name that was always showing, and somehow they must have bought like every other ad. So,
oh gosh, we have competing dentists that do that on ours, and so you have to watch one dentist commercial, and then you have to watch the other dentist commercial.
Not for nothing, but I go to the movies for entertainment to forget reality. The last thing I want to be reminded of about before I go see Star Wars is my root canal that I need to schedule down 2 months from now. Come on. At least to have ads for stuff, other fun things, in there.
Well, and then there's this one for this local spa, and they do something called vampire facials, which I don't know what that is.
That's good though. That's cool though. But see, that's interesting,
Yeah, but then they're like we do massages, brow tucks, vampire facials, and all I can imagine is like these vampires like sucking your blood out. I don't know what that is, and I don't even want to look. I don't know. I don't want to look it up. I just want to kind of.
Is it so like they put some kind of makeup on that doesn't allow you to go out in the day? So it's a vampire facial. Is it only
people come out and they got the cheesy like the drawn on widow's peak?
Yeah,
the grease white face paint.
or they come out and it like as soon as you walk out in the sunlight, whatever the peel that they put on you just goes in the sun and like peels off. Okay, well that's an assignment to our listeners. Anyone can tell us what a vampire facial is? I mean,
that sounds cool.
I know what it sounds like if you're gonna get your mind in the gutter, but I want to know what really this is. Of course, we need
I'm sure
to know.
Cody will we'll put our intern on the case.
Yeah, Cody, you not only there's only like that guy I think is a new film historian, or we might have one more. So you have an easy film historian month, but we're giving you another assignment. Please find out what this and I think she knows cosmetics and stuff. I see her post stuff, so she knows it. So she might be able to tell us what a vampire facial is without even much of a research.
And while you're at it, Cody, try to figure out a way for me to tell the difference between Dakota Fanning and Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, and I didn't catch you make that mistake, did I? Or did I say anything? Did I not even realize?
No. But I had two people call me out.
Yeah, I know. So. I saw Ken did. Yeah, a couple of people did on that one, but. Well, I mean, come on. They got the same name. It's not like
Dakota. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I knew it was one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got half. As long as you didn't go completely off the rails, like and call it like I don't know, the Jardin or something. I don't know. You were close. But so there's also another thing in here. I don't even know what this thing is, but it says in search of the original version of Paul Lenny's Das Wackenfigurebechabenet. Says an interview with
can you work on his German pronunciation, please?
Yeah, wait. I'm gonna try again. Das Wachsfigurenkabinett.
Not Vox.
Yeah, I don't know. Ken knows German. Can he help
Das
us?
Wachsfigurenkabinett.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. It says an interview with Julia Wallmuller, Deutsche Cinemathek, based on her presentation of the premiere of the restored film at Tu Cinema Ritrovato Festival in Bologna 2020. I thought this was something old. This was new.
You really butchered that. Okay.
What, Bologna?
Yeah. No, I think that's Il Cinema, not 2 Cinema.
Oh, it looks like 2, like Superman 2. I don't know. It's like okay, well, Oh yeah, you're right. Il Cinema. Well, it's small print. I can't. And they're both the same letter technically in the way he wrote it. Okay. Anyway, conversation with Kim Newman, an in-depth interview with journalist. Oh wait, did we miss her? We missed her.
No, Kim Newman's a boy. It's a guy.
Oh,
Remember? Kim Newman's a guy.
No, but I meant like did we miss? I meant to say, did we miss?
Well, it's because he was grandfathered in though.
Right, but no, but I meant I was gonna say did Cody update it, but that's what I meant to say. Did Cody update it? But I guess not because I didn't see him on the list. But maybe because it was grandfathered, I went right by it.
Yeah, he was grandfathered.
But we're on like half the cylinders tonight. I can tell.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's that feature. And there's also a collector's edition souvenir booklet, limited edition booklet featuring new essays by Philip Kemp and Richard Combs on the film's history and significance. I don't know if technically they are a film historian, but they just comment on it, so we didn't count them. But I will say that, though, I'm sure it'd be interesting to comb through that book, but because it's Richard Combs. And by the way, and his heir apparent is going to be Julia Wildmiller. No, because she does notes on the restoration process by not this thing again. Deutsche Cinemathek. And rarely seen production photographs and promotional material. I'm exhausted. We're calling it a night. I don't care if there's another 3 weeks in this month. I'm done. No, okay.
No, Kemp and Combs sounds like a law firm.
It does. Yeah, I don't know. That was a tough one to get through. Okay.
All right, so let's recap the week of November 3rd. We had Antebellum from 2020, The Veil from 2016, Let's Scare Julie from 2020, The Ape Man / Doomed to Die double feature from 1940 and 1943, They Reach from 2020, and our pick of the week, Waxworks from 1924.
Yes.
All right, next up, we have this is our big week. This is the big week of 11 releases for November 10th. And some really good ones. This one actually had 3 possible picks of the week for me.
Yeah, I'm just laughing because of your tourist trap notification. It looks funny the way it's written.
Oh, I forgot to. I'm glad you said that because I'd forgotten that I'd put those on there. So there are a couple of reissues this week. There's that big Herschel Gordon Lewis Feast box set, which is a reissue, and then we also have the Tourist Trap Retro VHS with Mr. Slauson.
That's what made me laugh, because this is with Mr. Slauson figure. And by the way, when that first came out, was announced over early in the summer, I jumped on it because I wanted to make sure I got it, and it was at $40. And they dropped the price, and of course Amazon honors it. It's now $22 for this set.
Yeah,
and you get a Blu-ray, a DVD, and the Mr. Slauson figure, which who does not want to own a Chuck Connors figure?
I know.
I mean, now that I own the Joe Bob figure, I want to get I want to have my Chuck Connors figure to go with it, because what a great 2-pack. Because remember, that was what Tourist Trap was one of the first movies when the Joe Bob Marathon came, right? Wasn't that the first? Technically, the first Joe Bob movie to come back. It was the first. Yeah, so gotta love. Awesome. Yeah, so that'll be a good little 2-pack of figures to have next to each other.
I love that movie. I love it so much.
Tourist Trap. Oh my god, yeah. No, this is one I'm so glad I didn't jump out and buy just out of laziness, pure laziness. And I think because it was on Shudder for so long, I could always have access to it. So I got a little complacent. But once I found out this set was coming out, I'm like, okay, this is what I was waiting for, apparently. So
yeah. All right. So first up, after our pick of the week, which we're going to skip over, we both agreed on. This one is from Shout Factory, How to Make a Monster from 1958. When Master Monster Makeup Man, that's alliteration. When Master Monster Makeup Man Pete is sacked by the new bosses of American International Studios, he uses his creations to exact revenge. And I put on here the trailer. This almost looked like a 50s version of Fade to Black.
It does. Oh my god, it's exact like. I mean, granted, the difference is his Dennis Christopher's character, and that was like after everybody, not just his bosses, but still, he definitely got back at his boss, which actually helped me get that challenge for the hard challenge, because he dressed up as a mummy, and I could use that.
Oh, they're very sneaky.
Yeah, well, I didn't actually. That was a last minute addition. I didn't remember. I had never seen it, so I didn't know that scene existed. I only knew that I was going to claim a couple of different things, including the one where whatever the name of it, the one where we watched the classic horror movie, because I had looked up. IMDb has a great feature, by the way, to do that. It's called Connections. I don't know if you ever noticed that, but if you go into a movie and you write Connections, Like, say you look Night of the Living Dead and Connections, it will list every movie it's either referenced in or been in.
Oh,
so that's how
really?
I found out that when it clicked and it said, oh, when he goes to his date night or when it's night out in the town, he watches Night of the Living Dead. I'm like, okay, good. That'll claim that challenge. I never seen it and I wanted to see it. And it claimed a couple of other things. And then so when I'm watching this and I see him dressed up as the mummy coming out, I'm like, oh, well, more objective for this. So yeah.
Nice.
So so that's a cool little feature that's kind of like hidden in the IMDb stats of the movie. So it's good,
well, I need
good
to use
feature.
that because that is my last challenge that I've got to figure out is that particular one where was it a horror movie scene being watched.
That was actually, I probably should have made that more points because that's not so easy.
It's not. It's my very last one, and I've got one that I can use for it, but I was hoping to find a little better movie than what I had picked. So,
that's what you do. So grab some classic horror movies that have been that you would just assume that would be in another movie and search it and look under connections there and you might find it because that's what I originally Googled it is what I did, and I googled it and then it said Fade to Black, but it linked me to the IMDb page under connections. I'm like, oh, this could have saved me a lot of time. So
wow.
So that's kind of a cool thing, but it's also just a neat feature too, especially if you love your favorite movie and you want to see if it's referenced in any other movie. There's a way to check it.
That's cool. Okay.
But,
so there are some extras for this one. This has a new audio commentary with author screenwriter C. Courtney Joyner and film historian David Del Valle.
Yes, and we know them already. They've been around. And, of course, his first C also stands for Courtney. But remember, He changed it because he didn't want to sound pretentious. But of course, by doing that, he becomes even more pretentious. But he always stumbles into sounding pretentious even when he's not. So yeah, he's struggling. And of course, remember David DeVal, he was the one that looks like Frankie Avalon, and he used to do the beach exploitation movies in the '60s, and he's got the Shatner hair and the V-necks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the whole thing, the Hasselhoff like chest hair, or now I should say Paul Naschy chest hair, because that's what that movie I watched the other day kind of had that in it.
He's proud of his chest, I will say. Paul Naschy. He's very fond of taking his shirt off.
Yeah, well, what the thing is, it's like if I kind of had I don't know, it just looked uncomfortable to me when you have that much chest hair and it only pops out at that one spot. I feel like it's like it's just I feel like you're like the next step is like Jordy Verrill, from Creepshow, where it's like the chest hair is just going to eventually consume you like moss. But what do I know? I don't have that much chest hair. So.
I, in a way, I kind of admire Paul Naschy for he doesn't have the classic body type for somebody that would be showing off, taking their shirt off, but he likes to do it in every movie. And I'm like, you know what? He's proud of his body. Give it thumbs up. He's not ashamed of his body type.
No,
I like that.
No.
Good for you, Paul Naschy.
Yeah, good for him.
It's also got a new audio commentary with author film historian Tom Weaver. Nice guy, Tom Weaver.
Yes,
with dramatic readings.
Yeah, but in this, I got a sneak preview of this disc. There's no his dramatic reading because he's such a nice upbeat guy. It's not so much dramatic, but it's more jovial. He's like, this monster has a weird droopy eye. Hey, no biggie. He can still do things all the other monsters can do. But I actually, all kidding aside, I would love to know what does this mean? That he's a commentary, but with dramatic readings? What did you just stop in the middle of the movie? He goes, "Excuse me, play pause on your Blu-ray player. To be or not to be?" It's like what? I have to figure out how that special feature works. That one's really...
he's like, and I will now sort of like Mary Catherine Gallagher from SNL.
Oh yeah.
I will now recite a monologue from the 1987 TV movie starring Meredith Baxter Birney. Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's like 85 to choose from, I think. She was in everything back then.
New How to Make a Monster Movie Maker, Herman Cohen at AIP featurette. The Ghastly Ghouls Q&A with actors Gary Clark and Gary Conway from Monster Bash, and a theatrical trailer.
So they're just, everything is double G for them. Ghastly Ghouls, Gary and Gary.
There's been a lot of alliteration this episode.
Yeah, what's going on? Well, the next one is another Shout Factory. Man, Shout Factory, just like, I think they almost need to open up like 5 new warehouses because we still haven't got our specials that we ordered early in the month. I'm still a little concerned. I mean, as
Yeah,
far as
they've
I
been
know, they
slow.
still have our orders, but I mean, I guess they probably ended up with the backlog and with the whole Friday the 13th glitch that they had. They're probably now dealing with all that, so they're probably just a little behind. But they keep putting out discs, so I don't know. It's fun. They're weird. Like all of a sudden, you'll just get an email, by the way, hey, it's shipping, and the next day you get it. So it's really weird.
You
with
never
them.
know. We're not the only ones, though. I've seen a lot on the forums that people.
Oh yeah, no, I
saying
don't
the
think
shipping's
anybody's.
behind.
Yeah, as far as I know,
Yeah.
nobody's got that. Anyone that bought that whole big thing in the beginning didn't get anything. But anyway, so this is War of the Colossal Beast, 1958, and it's Glenn Manning, the amazing colossal man, believed dead after falling from the Hoover Dam, reemerges in rural Mexico, brain damaged, disfigured, and very hungry. Well, that's a bad combination.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does look. It's funny. You wrote looks like a human King Kong. It does, and I think they do such a good job of creating his size in this. And I love movies where like there's like a creature like so big, much bigger than everyone else, because it's super creepy. But I love it. So like yeah, I kind of want to see this one. It's got a 2K restoration from a fine grain print. They also made a 7-grain all wheat version of this, by the way. But speaking of that, did you ever like that bread? Did you ever get that bread?
I did try the bread. It was good.
Right? It's pretty solid.
Yeah. It's very grainy.
Yeah, it's very
For
grainy.
sure.
By the way,
You
we're
gotta
talking
like grainy bread.
We're talking about that Dave's Killer Bread. Tim was looking on a bread search one day, and like a good co-host and friend, I helped him out, and I said, "Try Dave's Killer Bread." But I don't know why I said it like an advertisement, but yeah, no, I did. But it's one we get at Costco all the time. It's a really good deal, and it's a very hearty bread though, and like
Very
Tim said,
hearty,
very grainy. There's a lot of grains in it, but it's one of the healthier breads out there. I don't know when we became a health food podcast, but it's actually really good because it's one of the breads that have low in sugar, which is good. It's amazing how much sugar's in bread. So.
Yeah, this release was brought to you by Dave's Killer Bread.
I know.
Low
Hey,
sugar.
look, if Kim and Ket can try and get Screwball, we can get Dave's Killer Bread in there. But anyway,
Send us some bread, Dave.
Yeah, and so back again, I swear to God, speaking of sponsors, I think this dude, C. Courtney Joyner, I think sponsors this this Discmemberment this month because he's back here with a commentary. But this time he's also... This is interesting. So he does a commentary with filmmaker Donald F. Glut and monster historian Eric Hoffman. Now, Eric Hoffman's an interesting chap here because he really loves Monster. However, it's only second to his love of his alter ego, Eric Hasselhoffman. And basically just comprised of him running shirtless at the beach in slow motion and sometimes singing in German. But yeah, so that's him.
Nice.
I tell you, every time I say one of these, all I could do is start chuckling inside, picturing Cody like have to transcribe it down because she literally does it so literal to what we say. Like my favorite one, and she did not disappoint with the taco putting on the Ritz pop culture historian guy.
And then new listeners are like, "What in the hell are these guys
what are you
talking
about? Do we actually get new listeners? I can't imagine.
Oh, we do.
It's amazing.
We do.
We get new ones. I'm amazed we keep on the ones that we have.
I don't know what happened, but yeah, somehow people keep finding the show. So yeah. So for any of you new listeners out there, we concoct imaginary biographies for any film historian or film critic that is featured on a special feature.
Yeah, and so it's most of these people we don't know any true facts about except the one guy. Remember we found out sadly in the middle of it that he had died. Like after we did a whole little
made fun of him.
Yeah, and then we found out that we had the wrong gender on somebody. But overall, it's more of a just to make this dismemberment a little fun for. But I think some of them are legendary. I will say some of them are quite. Entertaining. But so anyway, this also has a new Size Matter featurette with Bert I. Gordon at AIP, alternate black and white ending, which is interesting. Was this black and white to begin with? I don't remember.
Yes, it was.
So why so it's just an alternate ending basically. They just embellished it to make it sound like a longer special feature. I don't know. And a theatrical trailer which we saw already on YouTube. So but still not bad. Okay.
Yeah, not bad. All right, so next up, this was a runner-up for Pick of the Week for me. This was Arrow's American Horror Project Volume 1. This is a really cool set, 1973 to 1976. Everyone knows the classic American horror titles, Night of the Living Dead, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and A Nightmare on Elm Street, to name but a few. But we want to tell you a different story, a story of the unsung heroes of Stars and Stripes terror, films that have remained on the fringes of the genre either through lack of availability or else sheer obscurity. This is where American Horror Project comes in. Volume 1 of this series presents 3 tales of violence and madness from the 1970s. Malatesta's Carnival of Blood, Christopher Spieth, 1973, sees a family arrive at a creepy, dilapidated fairground in search of their missing son, only to find themselves at the mercy of the cannibalistic ghouls lurking beneath the park. Meanwhile, The Witch Who Came from the Sea, Matt Kimber, from 1976, stars Millie Perkins, The Diary of Anne Frank, as a young woman whose bizarre and violent fantasies start to bleed into reality, literally. And I've actually seen that one. It used to be on Shudder. It may still be. Lastly, every parent's worst nightmare comes true in The Premonition from Robert Allen Schnitzer in 1976, a tale of psychic terror in which 5-year-old Janie is snatched away by a strange woman claiming to be her long-lost mother. And this is a cool set, and Arrow has already announced Volume 2 of this. I don't know the films that are going to be on it, but they've already announced it. I think this would be a really cool one because you're getting some titles that are a little more on the obscure side, and you're getting them in a really nice set. If you look at the artwork and stuff on the set, it looks really nice.
This seems like something that Joe Bob would have dreamed up, and that's a shame he's not part of this set in any way.
Yeah. I'll read through these extras because there's some really good stuff on here. It has reversible sleeves for each film, featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by the Twins of Evil. It's got a limited edition 60-page booklet featuring new articles on the films from Kim Newman, Kirla Janice, who did The House of Psychotic Women, which is a fantastic book. Oh my gosh, I'm still reading it. It's a really long book.
Oh, right. Yeah, you had.
And Brian Albright, who did regional horror films from 1958 and 1990. So there's some great authors there that created that booklet. Malatesta's Carnival of Blood has a brand new interview with director Christopher Spieth, brand new interview with writer Werner Liepold, draft script and production stills gallery. The Witch Who Came from the Sea has audio commentary with director Matt Kimber, actress Millie Perkins, and director of photography Dean Cundy. Oh, Dean Cundy, that's cool.
Yeah.
Brand new interview with director Matt Kimber. Brand new interview with Dean Cundy. Brand new interview with actor John Goff. That would be worth it for me alone just to hear those commentaries. And
yeah, that's got a lot of stuff on here.
The Premonition has an audio commentary with director-producer Robert Allen Schnitzer. Brand new interview with... Oh, sorry, I love his name. Brand new interview with composer Henry Malacone. Interview with actor Richard Lynch. 3 Robert Allen Schnitzer short films, Vernal Equinox, Terminal Point, and A Rumbling in the Land. 4-piece spots and trailers and TV spots. And yeah, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm just kind of winging these.
Yeah. So
these names could be randomly pronounced here. But that one looks like a really, really good set.
Yeah. Next one is from RLJ Entertainment. This was a Shudder original. I love how the Shudder or exclusives, they come out eventually on Blu-ray, which is kind of cool. It's like they go from Shudder to your home collection. But they still stay on Shudder, which is good for a long time, which I like. But and this one's Metamorphosis from 2019. It's an evil spirit that changes faces, infiltrates one family, placing one brother in danger, while the other tries to save him. This one looked pretty cool. I mean, there's not really any special features on the disc, but it's one of the movies I've just not got around to seeing on Shudder. It's so funny because with as much as I'm on Shudder, I feel like I have only tapped in such a small amount because we end up watching so many things for the basis for the podcast specifics or something that I feel like one day I just want to sit there all day and just grab random movies off of Shudder to watch.
Yeah. There are so many, and they're coming out so fast, I can't really keep up with them. But hopefully after this horror project, which I should be finishing up this weekend for sure.
Yeah, I have 2 movies left at this recording time. So I'll probably finish off by midweek.
Yep, same here. All right, next up is one I'm actually pretty much looking forward to that kind of looks bad. Full Moon features Blade, the Iron Cross, 2020. Yeah, this is the Puppet Master Blade. And this is a new Puppet Master movie, but it looks kind of like a Blade origin story, kind of. For decades, the fans have been clamoring for it, and now Full Moon delivers with the first standalone feature debut of one of its most beloved and most frightful characters, the hook-handed maniac puppet Blade. Charlie Band's Puppet Master series continues as an unspeakable evil from Blade's past emerges in the form of a murderous Nazi scientist named Dr. Hauser. As Hauser's heinous crimes are discovered, the psychic war journalist Elisa Ivanov awakens Blade, and together the bloody journey of revenge begins. It's Herr Hauser's reanimated undead army versus a possessed doll and a beautiful vengeance-seeking clairvoyant. Who will win, and how will it affect the Full Moon universe? Find out in Blade: The Iron Cross.
I thought this looked cool, though.
It does look cool, and I am a huge Blade fan. I'm so upset that I got rid of... I had the action figure of him when they came out. Remember when they came out with all this Puppet Master figures? I had him, and somewhere along the line, I sold it or tossed it or something. I don't know, but I don't have it anymore. I'm really bummed.
Yeah, see, I really want to buy this, but I know that at some point they're going to come out with like a new version of that set.
Yeah, I'm going to wait on the set. I will tell you, they make some really expensive, nice replicas of the Puppet Master puppets that are like life size. If I could have one like collectible horror figurine, I think it would be that Blade puppet. I think that would be my pick.
Oh, that would be really cool. I kind of want the ones from that. What was that one we saw where they were like all the old wooden versions of it? Like,
yeah, retro Puppet Master. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to get versions of those too. I like that one. The next one, this was a tricky one because you actually found a trailer. I couldn't find a real trailer.
But I'm gonna let you read the synopsis and everything. But I've got to tell you about what I found.
Okay, so this one is Mando Macabro, Sins of the Flesh from 1974, and I think this was an AKA. This had another title, I know when I found it, but anyway, it says Benoit is a coward and a voyeur who gets his kicks from watching other couples make out. He cajoles his two new companions. I don't know why I'm laughing at this. To attempt to what he has never dared to do: rob the safe in his father's factory, seduce his stepmother to blackmail for her money, and finally go so far as committing murder. Thus begins a wild ride that takes them to the very edge of madness.
So I went and looked up a trailer for this based off the original French title. And I don't know if what I found was this trailer, but it looked like the same time period. It looked like 74. But it was literally a 1:18 trailer. And it was these women sitting at a cafe, like a French bistro. And they were, for some reason, I couldn't understand what they were saying because they were speaking in French. And they looked like they were counting buttons, like clothes buttons. And every now and again, they would glance up and look at a man's jeans crotch that was walking by. And it was just a crotch shot. So it was like the camera just like focused in on this tight jeans crotch shot. And then the woman would look like, ooh, I like what I see. And then it would count them back to like counting buttons again. And then another woman would look up and see another crotch. And then it would cut back to her and her like going, ooh, I like that. And then it would go back to the next woman. And it did this for 1:18. I don't know what I was watching. It was not a trailer for this movie, but it was something.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's one of those things where you got looped into some weird alternate universe of the movie that we're trying to find a simple trailer for. Because this one actually does have some special features here. I had to scroll down a little bit more. Brand new 4K transfer from Film Negative, digitally restored. It's got an interview with actress Ann Leibert, interview with Gerard Kikoin. Interview with distributor Francis Mishkind. What does an interview like with a distributor do? What does he tell you? He goes, I box it. I feel like it's that guy on Miss Doubtfire. You box it, then you ship it. You box it, then you ship it. I don't know.
It's a 20-minute interview of him saying that.
Yeah, he just goes around and saying, here's where we box and here's where we ship. No, he probably has like some kind of like, I'm sure there's some business acumen that he goes through. Maybe he's doing my luck. Watch, I'm joking about this. This guy's probably got master classes on distribution like out there.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So it also has an interview with assistant director Didier Philippe Gerard. It's got trailers. There's like a period there, so I felt like I had to pause. After alternate title sequences, optionally newly created English subtitles, Mando Macabro previews. That cracks me up when it's optionally newly created English subtitles. Were the first ones wrong?
They must have been.
Like, were they just guesses? And now this one, they're like, well, actually, he's not saying that. He's really saying this,
Yeah.
But,
it's like, how bad could you screw up the translation originally?
Yeah. I mean, like, I'd love to know what those new subtitles versus the old. Like, you should have the option to, like, see them side by side to see how off they were. But.
All right. So we have the next one up is another release from Mondo Macabro. This one is, man, I cannot wait to see this one. This is Seven Women for Satan from 1976. This rarely seen Euro shocker is a sexy version of the story of Count Zaroff, the man whose favorite pastime was hunting humans on his private island. By day, a mild-mannered businessman, in his dreams, Boris Karloff chases naked females on his country estate, just like his notorious father. Oh, you naughty Boris.
Yeah.
One weekend, two visitors arrive at Boris's castle. The young girl is fascinated by the tales of the wicked Zaroffs and asks if she can see their famous torture chamber. Maybe now the Zaroff dreams can become reality once more. A stylish and erotic horror film that was actually banned in France in the 1970s.
Wow, you banned in France?
Oh my
They
god,
don't
this
ban
movie
anything.
has everything. Yeah, this movie has... So I watched the trailer and I just was totally enraptured. They have a skeleton with hair, which I really like skeletons with hair, and because I think it's hilarious. And then there's also a lot of boob things.
Oh.
So there's boob fondling, there's boob impalement, there's even a boob dog attack.
Oh my god! Wait,
So-
did the dog attack the boob, or does the boob attack the dog?
I couldn't tell from the trailer, but
So it might have
Either
been
way,
it might have been a mutual fight.
yeah, either way, I'm sure it was entertaining. This trailer looks crazy. This movie looks
It does.
insane.
The-
I really
the-
want to see
well,
this.
plus the title alone. I mean, it kind of sounds like something like would be Donald Rump's next book title.
Yeah.
But this movie looks totally crazy, but like cool at the same time. It's like one I would definitely want to see, especially now. I want to revisit all. I need to reevaluate the boob dog attack.
See, this is the kind of movie that, like, when I get all settled into the new place and I've got the home theater going and everything, this is one I want to invite people over. Hopefully I don't know if anybody that would actually want to watch this with me, but I feel like I would need to find somebody that I could say, hey guys, come over. We're watching Seven Women for Satan tonight with drinks.
Yeah.
And just get all liquored up and watch this movie. I think.
Yeah, well, maybe just say, have you ever wanted to see a film that contains a skeleton with hair and boob impalement? Well, it's almost what you made it sound like. I thought you were going to go into like a Stefan, like yes.
I almost
This
did
movie
it in
has
Stefan's
everything.
voice. Yeah.
Skeletons with hair, boob fondling, boob impalement. It's like
I came so close to doing it in Stefan's voice, but I
We
should
need to have Stefan make a guest appearance one time.
Yeah.
in this dismemberment. Not now though, because you're expecting him. But
Yeah, we've already ruined it now.
yeah,
So this has a brand new 4K transfer from Film Negative Fully Restored. Interview with cast member Robert Delaroche. Interview with director Michael Lemoyne. Exclusive extended version, deleted and alternate scenes. Trailer. And English-French audio choice with optional subtitles. And of course, our Mondo Macabro previews.
I know we need to. One of us needs to just buy a Mondo Macabro disc already.
I might actually buy this one. It just looks so intriguing,
The-
and not just because of the boobs. I like the skeleton with hair. I really liked, and the dog, like the big mastiff. And the castle was really neat. I don't know. It just had this weird, kind of cool vibe to it. I liked it.
Yes, this one. Okay, this next one. This one's a doozy too. This one I think is right up our alley. It's from Darkside Releasing, and it's called Book of Monsters 2018. It says Sophie's 18th birthday becomes a bloodbath when monsters descend upon her house, devouring the guests and killing anyone who tries to leave. To survive the night, Sophie must face her destiny. Monsters are real, and she's the only one who can stop them. Yeah, this trailer is like one of those wacky, crazy trailers that just goes on, and like your comment about that it looks like a female-driven Evil Dead is like spot on. But I love the guy that just walks in when he goes, and he just runs in, he goes, "Hey, I'm late for the party," and exactly in that accent. Like, I'm not making fun of him. That's how he says it, and it's just randomly like inserted into the middle of that trailer. So yeah, this one, like, I have a feeling it'd be a fun one, but that's. Sadly, though, while the guests are not allowed to leave, the special features either didn't arrive or snuck out because there are none.
Yeah. All right, so next up, this is another contender for Pick of the Week. The only reason I didn't pick this one is it's really not dedicated to one movie, as you'll see. This is I Spit on Your Grave, and it's kind of a double feature because you have the 1978 version and the 2019 I Spit on Your Grave Deja Vu, which got terrible reviews.
I know, but that's like it's the one I need for the set because I have all the others. So
yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll look at the extras, and you guys will have to decide The story of Jennifer Hill, a writer who retreats to the country to work on her novel. Whilst there, she is subjected to a horrific gang rape by 4 locals and left for dead. She somehow manages to regain her strength and sets out to exact a deadly revenge. Banned by censors, bashed by critics, reviled by feminists, the legacy of Day of the Woman can be summed up in one word: controversy. And this one has a disc, basically a 3-disc set. The first disc has a new 4K scan of I Spit on Your Grave 1978 from director Mir Zarchi's uncut 35mm. I've totally botched that. Uncut 35mm original camera negative. Newly restored DTS HD Master Audio Mono DTS HD 5.1. New Jennifer's Journey, the locations of I Spit on Your Grave featurette hosted by writer Michael Gingold. Audio commentary with writer-director Mir Zarchi. Audio commentary with film critic Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah, well, we dare not touch his. We know him. I mean, he's legendary. You know, he's probably just being like, it's got revenge foo, boob foo, castration foo. You know, so it's.
And I will say, this is one reason this was a strong contender for pick of the week.
Well, this is why, and this is also why I'm gonna. I mean, I was gonna eventually buy just the standalone of this the sequel, even though I know it's been panned, just so I can have my completionist set. But now I might have to buy this because of the Joe Bob.
Yeah. The Value of Vengeance. Mir Zarchi remembers I Spit on Your Grave, alternate Day of the Woman opening title, theatrical trailers, TV and radio spots, still gallery, and new slideshow with rare behind-the-scenes photos from the set and a reversible cover. That's just Disc 1. Disc 2 has I Spit on Your Grave Deja Vu, which is, of course, the 2018 follow-up. DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 Surround, new audio commentary with film critic Joe Bob Briggs, new cast interviews, exclusive The Making of I Spit on Your Grave Deja Vu, behind-the-scenes footage with director Mir Zarchi and cast theatrical trailers. And then disc 3 is Growing Up with I Spit on Your Grave, which I think is a featurette or like a documentary. New DTS HD Master with Audio 5.1 Surround, exclusive deleted scenes, new Terry Zarchi's 8mm film starring Camille Keaton, new home movies, Camille and Mir's wedding, and trailer. They even put their wedding video on there. How about that?
Oh my god, yeah, that's like that's a special feature that like where they were just scrounging for one. So like, they're like, well, we need like a feature that's like another hour, and and just shit that happened to the wedding video happens to be on the table. They're like, well, but I gotta tell you, I love that Joe Bob is doing the commentary for the new one too. But
I might give you a reason to watch it.
Yeah, but also what's so great is Joe Bob. I mean, like I told you, I went to his sadly, that's like literally the last thing fun thing I did outside of before COVID had us all in, was that when Redneck Saved Hollywood, how Redneck Saved Hollywood, and I could listen to Joe Bob all night. Like he could just go through, because he's just his style and his wealth of knowledge that he just can pull out without even without even a blink. I mean, it's just astounding. So it's like, if there's anyone you want to listen to, and the fact that I think he's bigger now than he ever was. He is bigger, because it's the way Shudder did that. I mean, he is now. People are like, I mean, he is like got to be one of the most beloved people on the planet right now. I mean, it's like, when we got to meet him in person, he was just as awesome as you would hope. And of course, teaming up with Darcy, they make such a great team on the last drive-in, and it's just like, yeah.
And I was terrified to meet him because I was so afraid, like, if he comes off as rude or just disinterested, like, I'm going to be crushed, because I loved Joe Bob Monster Vision growing up. And so, but I was thrilled that he turned out to be as nice, if not nicer, than I expected.
Oh yeah, man, he was talking with us as long as we would have stayed there, seriously. And then he did that great little the panel. I mean, it was just awesome. Oh, so that's it with that one. Okay, so the last one is I don't know what this is. I didn't look at the trailer, but it's Dark Web Season 1. So apparently it's a TV show somewhere, but 2019, it's from Special Edition is the release company. It says a programmer's mysterious disappearance leads to the reunion of old friends and the discovery that strange stories she left behind may hold clues to an impending technological crisis. Almost seems like a Timeless meets Black Mirror or something. It's like with all the technology thing, but like it's they have to go back in time kind of a thing. But I guess they're not actually going back in time, but
I don't know much about that one. I've never heard of it. So.
Well, it's coming out. Okay. That's the best we can do for you.
All right, so our pick of the week, this is a great one. This is from Shout Factory, and this is the Brides of Dracula Collector's Edition. Both Brian and I both picked this for our pick of the week from 1960, and I recently watched this one. A young teacher on her way to a position in Transylvania helps a young man escape the shackles his mother has put on him. In doing so, she innocently unleashes the horrors of the undead once again on the populace, including those at her school for ladies. Luckily for some, Dr. Van Helsing is already on his way. And this one has some really, to me, some of the creepiest movie vampires outside of Salem's Lot. I really liked.
It really does.
They're really, really cool. The female vampires in this are super, super creepy. This one has a. I will let you. I will let you read your comments, Brian, on the trailer. Because have you seen this movie, or did you just watch the trailer?
No, I just saw the trailer, but I own it. We own the movie because it's in our Hammer set, which is cool. But like, so that's what I wrote. I said this is almost like a must buy, even though it's in the Hammer set. But the best line in the trailer to me is it goes, "The beautiful Yvonne Monroe, France's latest sex kitten, as Marianne, whose beauty was her passport to the twilight world of the undead." Like back then, there was no, I mean, granted, it's like, as much as we love it, like literally now our trailers are in a world where, that's where we get. But back then they were like so craft, like the audios of the trailers, the audio descriptions of them were so artistic and classic that it's like it cracks you up, because it's like they felt like they had to describe about the movie, because there was no internet, of course, back then, or it really wasn't probably wasn't even that many movie publications to read about these movies. Like, basically, for you to get the information you had of this movie was this trailer, and so they felt the need that's why they were like 3 minutes long sometimes, and they had like full-on descriptions, or like, watch this scene to it's like like that. Literally, they had to put like, and of course Alfred Hitchcock's he had those classic ones where he'd come in like, "Let me say something to you people in the audience." Like he would flat out come out and talk to you while he's eating dinner. But yeah, so that's what I loved about this trailer, and that line just cracked me up. So
yeah, this one's great. This one has a new audio commentary with author film historian Steve Haberman, which we of course know always comes into a room singing, Haberman does whatever a Haber can. But he has a keen sense. He's got like a spidey sense, right? He's got
he does.
Yeah, heightened senses. That's how you put it. Yeah. And then filmmaker, film historian Constantine Nazer, who of course his brain was transplanted into Johnny Five, and he now says Nazer lips.
Yep.
I watched that before for some reason, when I saw Constantine Nazer on the thing, I had to go look up clips from Johnny Five doing that in Short Circuit.
And your mama was a snowblower. No, he's
need more input.
I know. Could you just imagine like him actually doing the commentary in that way? That would be great. Then maybe we need to do it. We just need to do that, since we're begging to be on a commentary track.
Yes. Yeah. We there's an open invitation to any of you out there if you want us to do a imitation of Johnny Five through the entire length of your commentary.
Entire commentary would be.
New The Men Who Made Hammer, Terrence Fisher featurette. New The Men Who Made Hammer, Jack Asher featurette. New The Eternal and the Damned, Malcolm Williamson and the Brides of Dracula. The Making of Brides of Dracula, narrated by Edward D'Souza, plus interviews with Yvonne Monier, Jimmy Sangster, Hugh Harlow, and more.
Remember, Yvonne Milo is the latest sex kitten from France, Tim.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry. The Haunted History of Oakley Court, theatrical trailer, radio spot, and still gallery. I really like this movie. When I watched it in our Hammer collection, I would love to have this disc and have the commentaries and stuff with it. I think
that's
really
I may have to
cool.
Double dip there.
All right, so let's recap our week of November 10th. We had How to Make a Monster from 1958, War of the Colossal Beasts from 1958, American Horror Project Volume 1, put out by Arrow, Metamorphosis from 2019, Blade the Iron Cross from 2020, Sins of the Flesh from 1974, Seven Women for Satan 1976, Book of Monsters from 2018, I Spit on Your Grave and I Spit on Your Grave Deja Vu double feature 1978 and 2019, Dark Web Season 1 from 2019, and our pick of the week, The Brides of Dracula Collector's Edition from Shout Factory from 1960. All right, up next, we got November 17th, a little bit slimmer month a little bit slimmer week this week, but still some really, really good titles on this one. So first up, we have I'll let you take this one, Brian, because you already have a set similar to this, I think.
Yeah, I think I have the I'm pretty sure I have the whole set with it. I may have final chapter. I think the last one might be separate. I'm not sure. I always get this confused with the Wrong Turn series on how if I have the complete set and then the last movie. I don't know. It might be both for all I know. That are both like that. But anyway, so this is Resident Evil, the complete collection 4K. Sony Pictures. Aren't they working on a new Resident Evil?
I feel like they are.
I think it's with Kayla Scodelario from Crawl. I think she's in it and I think they're saying they're going back to more of the horror roots of it because it really went more sci-fi, which is what kind of turned me off a little of the series. Like I wish it was like way more like the original video game was, because that video game, oh my god, it was one of the best video games ever made. That original Resident Evil. And then, and then 2 was really good. But, like, once it started getting too sci-fi, to me, it was like, I'm like, well, why are you going away from the horror? It was so good. But anyway, this includes Resident Evil Apocalypse, Resident Evil Extinction, Resident Evil Afterlife, Resident Evil Retribution, Resident Evil The Final Chapter. And what sadly it does not include, and it should, is the 3 animated movies that they have, which are actually pretty good. Those I like actually really well. I don't know if you saw those. There were like Degeneration is one. Forgot the other names of that, but
good gracious, this thing has a ton of extras.
It does. It's got a lot of features on here. Now, I don't think mine have all these extras. I gotta look. I mean, because it may be something to eventually upgrade to, like on a discount day. But so it's a 4K Blu-ray disc, theatrical trailer. It's got cast and filmmaker commentary, visual effects commentary, alternate ending with director Paul W.S. Anderson's video introduction, 12 featurettes, My Plague music video by Slipknot. And that was just the first one. That's just a Resident Evil one. Then Apocalypse both features have the 4K Blu-ray disc, theatrical and extended cuts of the film, trailers, or is this a different movie? Or no, same one. Okay, trailers, filmmaker commentary, cast commentary, writer-producer commentary, deleted scenes, Game Over, Resident Evil reanimated documentary, corporate malfeasance featurette, and Game Babes featurette, Symphony of Evil featurette. Then on Resident Evil Extinction bonus features, they have 4K also. I think that's the main thing with this. It's like they've upgraded to 4K. Resident Evil Roadmap, reflections on the future of the series, theatrical trailers, Under the Umbrella, picture-in-picture, filmmaker commentary, deleted scenes, 4 featurettes, and that's it for that one. The next one is Resident Evil Afterlife bonus features. That's got Alice Activated, theatrical trailers, Undead Vision, picture-in-picture, filmmaker commentary, deleted and extended scenes, and outtakes. And also 7 featurettes on this one.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the Resident Evil Retribution bonus features are Evil Goes Global, Undead Retribution, theatrical trailers, director cast commentary, filmmaker commentary, deleted extended scenes, outtakes, Project Alice, interactive database, 8 featurettes. They keep growing.
Wow.
And then the final one is Resident Evil, the Final Chapter bonus features, and that is Maximum Carnage, Best Kills, Creature Chronology, theatrical trailers, Retaliation Mode with Paul W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich. Of course, they're married. And 3 featurettes. So they dropped them all.
Olivia loves this series. She absolutely loves this series. So this one may be on her Christmas list.
And I don't mean it's that, like, I didn't mean to knock the series earlier. It's more so I wish they stuck to the horror element more than the sci-fi element.
Yeah, because the video games were pretty much all horror. I don't remember them going into that level of sci-fi.
Not really. I mean, maybe might have been, there was one that kind of had, was it 3 where it had, like, I mean, it was horror, but you had like oh my god, I forgot the name of it, but that one villain that was it was the title of the name, whatever the Resident Evil 3 game, but it was more so you were in the city and he was trying to get you the whole time.
Yeah, but then they went way back into the horror, because then they started going more into the zombie route and everything. So
yeah. So
all right, so next up we have Relic from Shout Factory from 2020. I heard a lot of good things about this movie. A daughter, mother, and grandmother are haunted by a manifestation of dementia that consumes their family's home. And I've just heard a lot of positive feedback on this movie. I really want to see it.
It's got Emily Mortimer in it.
Yeah.
So, of course.
And a trailer for feature. So not much on the feature front, but
Yeah, and
I
it's
think
so
a
funny
pretty cool
because
movie.
Relic has been named, like, there must be 12 movies named Relic, but it's like one of those ones that just, or The Relic or something has it. So, but it's kind of good that at least this, for a second I'm like, wait, this one again? But no, it's the new Relic, so.
Yeah.
The next one was another tricky one where it's like, I think I found the full movie only, and that was by Code Red and So Sweet, So Dead from 1972. But it's a serial killer is on the loose. His victims are unfaithful. Oh, no, sorry. His victims are unfaithful wives, and he always leaves compromising photographs at the crime scene. And basically, it was restored in 2017 with extensive exclusive color correction completed in the U.S. and trailers. So there's your special features for that one.
Next up from RLJ Entertainment, we have Monstrum from 2018. Oh man, this is full of some nice pronunciations. Yoon Gyam is a loyal subject of King Young Yong. Wait, let me start this whole thing over.
I think it's King Jong John of Joseon.
Yes.
But,
Yoon Gyeon is a loyal subject of King Jong of Joseon. He struggles to fight against a monster that threatens King Jong's life and a group of people trying to depose King Jong. And why did they put that in there 3 times?
I know, they did that intentionally to throw you off. There's no need for that. That could have been worded so much easier. We knew who they were talking about.
This one looks cool, though. I really have to say this one looks really cool. It has a big monster in it, and it reminded me of I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy games. It looked like kind of like a Final Fantasy brought to life. It was pretty neat.
Why did I sound like the guy from Airplane? Remember, Shayna? They bought their tickets. They knew what they were getting into. I say, let them crash. You know, that's why I don't know why my voice sounded like that guy before, but okay.
Now,
by the way, did
one,
you
Brian?
see the Airplane, the Goldbergs with the Airplane spoof?
No, not yet.
Oh my god, it's classic. Because just a hint, I won't spoil the whole thing, but basically the whole thing revolves around Adam Goldberg. He can't not quote Airplane the entire time. It's like it'd be
So,
like
like
Flying
me.
with Us. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's like he literally he sets himself up. He always is doing it. And he's like torturing the whole flight crew. That's
great.
awesome. Yeah, you got to see that. It's a good
So,
episode.
Brian, before we do this next one, I will say we have featured this movie before in a dismemberment, but I think this is a new edition because it's limited to 3,000 units. But I remember this trailer because after I saw the trailer, I think this is why I wanted to watch this movie because we had covered it before.
You're right. Yeah, and the music, the script was like, it sounded like those those Muppets on Sesame Street. Those,
Yeah.
I don't know the name. Cone will know the name. Cone psychically call in and let us know what those people are called. The Yep or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So this one is Beyond the Door by Arrow, 1974. And of course, once I saw the limited to 3,000, my ears perked up. My wallet opened up. But I quickly shut it because I'm like, wait a minute. Let me read about this first before you order it, you nasty monolith, you. But anyway, so it's a young married woman becomes the pregnant bearer of the seed of Satan. As the evil within her grows, she is subjected to a terrible and demonic metamorphosis. Okay, and so, yeah, this one, you're right, Tim. I think this is the one we saw, and it's got the best music ever in a trailer. Between that other song and the yep, yeah, that yep, that one. It's called Dimitri's Theme because in YouTube it actually shows you the name of the song that was featured in it, which is interesting. So yeah, this is limited to 3,000 units. So of course, like I said, my ears perked up with that one. It's got a brand new 2K restoration of the extended uncut English export version. That's a lot of descriptive qualities to this version. It says an exclusive bonus disc containing the alternate U.S. theatrical version and Italy Possessed, a brand new feature-length documentary on Italian exorcism movies. Are there a lot?
Maybe.
Okay. A reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Mark Schoenbach. Reversible fold-out poster. So they're doubling down with that one there. A perfect bound collector's booklet featuring new writing on the film by John Martin. Oh, no, it's just John. John Martin and Alessio Di Rocco. Okay, and then there's disc 1 has the uncut English export version. Brand new 2K restoration of the uncut English export version released as Devil Within Her. Then it says a high-definition Blu-ray presentation. Well, duh. Why is that got to be an extra feature? Original uncompressed mono audio, optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. The Devil and I, a newly filmed interview with director-producer Ovidio G. Asanitis. Oh, no, Asanitis. Asanitis.
I had to ask my doctor about that one.
I know. I don't know if I want to get acinitis. That sounds like something you don't want. Okay, poor dude, probably suffered his whole life. Okay, Barrett's Hell, a newly filmed interview with cinema photographer Enrico Palazzi. No, Roberto Di Torre Piazzoli. Okay. Beyond the Music, a newly filmed interview with composer Franco Michalizzi. The Devil's Face, a newly filmed interview with camera operator Maurizio Maggi. This is like the whole crew again, you know? It's like
I'm still laughing about acid.
Snacks on Set by Craft Serviceman. No, I'm kidding. Motel and Devils, a newly conducted audio interview with actor Gabriel Lavia. Alternate Italian Cisse opening titles. I don't know what that means. Alternate Behind the Door VHS opening titles. Really? Alternate Japanese Diabolica opening and ending sequence. Trailers, TV, and radio spots. Image gallery. And that's disc 1.
This has really gone off the rails.
Yeah, it really has. And now I just moved the whole screen off and I can't find anything. Okay, here it is. Disc 2. That is the US theatrical version, limited edition exclusive. So this is what this limited to 3,000. Here's all the stuff. That's what you're getting with that cut. So this is brand new 2K restoration of the US theatrical version, released as Beyond the Door. High definition Blu-ray. Oh, we went through that. Okay, original uncompressed mono audio, optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. Italy Possessed. Why is this documentary again? But anyway, it's Italy Possessed, a brand new feature-length documentary on the history of Italian exorcists. Rip-offs. Oh, it's different. Okay, rip-offs, including interviews with key filmmakers such as Sergio Martino, Alberto Di Martino, Pupi Avati. You have to say his name like that. It's like Pupi Avati. Marcello Avallone, Ovidio G. Acinitis, and many more. Wow, you got Pupi and Acinitis in the same one? Come on. That's like hand feeding Brian and Tim in Discmemberment. Okay.
I swear to God, I'm 12 years old.
Yeah, we so are. Pupi Avati and Acinitis. I'm sorry. Yeah.
As we've alienated all of our Italian listeners now.
Yeah, two groups wiped out one night. One dismemberment.
So here's what I think might have happened with this, though, because I believe this was released by Arrow, and it may have been the same edition, and I think they're reissuing it in a limited run because it is out of print on Amazon.
But are you sure now? I don't think. Are you sure you got that special like thing that was limited to the disc, that uncut English export version? Like maybe that wasn't on there.
I don't know. The cover and everything looks the same, and it looks. Yeah, it is the same.
I feel Arrow is very. I mean, sorry, not Arrow. No, Arrow is very sneaky. They re-release a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because this one's going for like $86 new on Amazon, but of course it's before this comes out. So,
yeah, but see now this will have that little number on the back like that Arrow does, so you'll get.
All right, so next up from Lionsgate Films, we have Death of Me from 2020. Vacationing on an island off the coast of Thailand. I almost said Thailand. That's how tired I am.
Yeah, like somebody says.
Christine and Neil Oliver awake hungover and with no memory of the previous night. They find footage on Neil's camera and watch horrified as Neil appears to murder Christine. With 24 hours until the next ferry and a typhoon threatening the island, Christine and Neil attempt to reconstruct the night's events and are snared in a web of mystery, black magic, and murder. Starring the great Maggie Q. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that this also took place simultaneous with The Hangover Part 2 because they're both in Thailand and they're both trying to piece together the last night. They shared notes with each other, on the internet. No, this looks really cool. This is a well done trailer because, it's just the plot alone. It's like you basically see, them watching a video of him killing her, but yet they're both standing there alive and they're trying to figure out what happened. And there's a lot of little hints in the trailer to see what might go on, but you still don't know. And it seems like a really cool movie. And plus, yes, we love Maggie Q. She was one of the highlights of Fantasy Island. But did I see a third Hemsworth in there?
I think you did.
Because they said something else, Hemsworth.
Yeah,
Luke
they're
Hemsworth?
multiplying, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't 2 enough to do to the mortal man that we have to deal with 2 of them,
Yeah. I don't know, my wife would
looks
argue
a little
there's
bit
never
more this one looks a little bit more down to earth, like we could probably compete with him, but
maybe. This one does have an island magic conjuring Death of Me featurette. So that's about it for that one.
Oh, and our pick of the week, Tim.
Oh man, poor Brian. He gets the 30-page long extras.
Oh God, I do. Yeah,
week.
but this one is a great set. Now, is this a new set or is this a redo? Also,
no, this is new. This is
brand new. Okay, yeah. This is the one that Tim and I, and it's not bad priced from what I saw. It's actually not bad. But this will have to be on me and Tim's list for sure. So. This is by Mill Creek Entertainment. It's Hammer Films, The Ultimate Collection, 1958 to 71. So is this all of them?
No. Not in any way.
No, all the monster ones. Not even all the monster ones?
No, in fact, I would say this is almost none of the monster ones. This is more of Hammer's. Really, a lot of these are non-horror, I will have to say.
Wait, the snorkel's on here. I remember that from a previous Dismemberment.
Yeah, I watched that one, and it was really
right.
good. But it's neat in that now it does have some horror ones on here, but to me it's kind of neat because these are films that are kind of hard to find, because you can find the really classic Hammer horror titles, but these crime suspense ones that they did early on are a little bit harder to find. So this one's kind of a cool set.
Yeah, I think I definitely, but yeah, like Tim and I are both putting this on our list because this one's just one of those ones that I could see us not buying, but it'd be good for someone who wants to get us a gift. Be perfect. So here's the list to buckle up on this one. So it's got Revenge of Frankenstein, Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, These Are the Damned, The Old Dark House, The Gorgon, The Snorkel, Maniac, Die, My Darling, Scream of Fear, Stop Me Before I Kill, Never Take Candy from a Stranger, Cash on Demand, The Strangers of Bombay, The Terror of Tongues, The Pirates of Blood River, The Devil Ship Pirates, The Camp on Blood Island, Yesterday's Enemy, Creatures the World Forgot. So that's the movies you get, and these special features. I mean, do I read all these? Oh no, I guess there are not so many as it looks. But basically, you get a 12-page movie and feature guide booklet, Hammer Film featurettes and retrospectives, Hammer Columbia Pictures, the actors of Hammer Films, The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb retrospective, the Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll retrospective, audio commentaries. You got The Revenge of Frankenstein, and on that you got good old Johnny Five and the amazing Haberman. The Old Dark House has commentary with the Monster Party podcast. Another snub for Civil Gore to be on there. Featuring James Gonis, Sean Sheridan, Larry Stroth, and Matt Weinhold. The Gorgon has a commentary with director Joshua Kennedy. The Snorkel has a commentary with Foof Sutton. How do you say that name? Foof? Fef? Is it Fef? Because it's like Jeff, but with a P.
I don't know.
And an H. So we'll just say Fef Sutton. Writer and film historian Mark. Oh, wait, we missed one.
Oh
my God. Mark Jordan Legan. Darn it, I thought I looked at this one. I think his whole sole purpose as a film historian, he only does movies with this guy Fef so he can pronounce his name for everybody.
I kind of imagine him looking like Negan from The Walking Dead,
but with like the bat and all.
Yeah, the bat and everything. And so as he's watching movies, he's just kind of like hitting the bat into his hand and has a shit-eating grin the entire time.
He'll be like, "His name is Fef. Don't call him Fof." And he's teamed up with C. Courtney Joyner, Mr. Pretentious himself. So God knows what that mix must be like. That must be a really highly contested for the mic commentary there. They're probably battling each other. Anyway, Never Take Candy from a Stranger has commentary with Constantine Nazer.
He split up from
Never
Haberman.
Take Candy from a Stranger, Nazer Lips, But no, disassemble number 5. Okay, Scream of Fear commentary with author, film historian Steve Haberman, of course, and he flies in quickly and does his commentary and shoots right out to very expeditiously.
Oh my God, the Johnny Five commentary would actually be really good.
Oh my God, maybe we just do a short circuit commentary, you and I, but only in Johnny Five voice, the entire commentary.
Oh my God! You don't want to lose the few remaining listeners we have. Jeez.
No, it'll be bonus. It'll be that'll have a launch Patreon. That'll be what you get.
Oh, I feel so bad charging people money for that.
Yeah, I think we'd have to like give them a credit on that first one, but
we'd have to pay them to listen to it. All right, so let's recap the week of November 17th. We have Resident Evil, The Complete Collection 4K, Relic from 2020, So Sweet, So Dead from 1972, Monstrum from 2018, Beyond the Door from 1974, Death of Me from 2020, and our pick of the week, mutual pick of the week, Hammer Films, The Ultimate Collection, 1958 to 1971. And we're going to round off the week kind of at a little bit of an anticlimactic way because there's only 2 releases, but these are both really good. And good enough that Brian and I split on our pick of the week. So I'll let Brian take the first one. This is our releases for November 24th, 2 days before my birthday. Hint, hint, if you want to get me something, you can get me my pick of the week.
There you go. Well, yeah, and so the reason why I picked mine is, I mean, granted, it usually doesn't fit the criteria of what I would pick for pick of the week, but with only 2 here, I mean, granted though, Tim's pick of the week is probably more in line what we usually look for, but since this movie is this is the sequel to one of my favorite horror movies out there, and by far my number 1 zombie film, and that's Train to Busan. This is Well Go USA's Train to Busan presents Peninsula, which of course is a long-awaited sequel to the 2016 version. And I tell you, South Korea has made some great horror movies, like the one the one you had me see, right? Because Go GM Asylum is Haunted Asylum.
Yeah.
That's South Korea, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that we'll probably mention that a little later, or in our next episode, because that was one of the best found footage movies I've seen. But anyway, so I can't wait to see that. Of course, really, like Tim said, it's a little different, but in a good way. But it's still I'm sure it's still gonna be amazing with this group behind it. It only has a making of featurette, cast and crew interviews, and some trailers, but. Still, it's like the movie I love so much, and I've been dying for this sequel. So to me, that's got to be my pick of the week. So,
all right. So my pick of the week was a release from Arrow. This is a box set. He Came from the Swamp, the William Griffey collection from 1966 to 1977. And I actually went and watched not an unboxing, but a preview video of this one. And the artwork is just amazing on this set, and it looks really, really cool. William Griffey was a guy that made exploitation drive-in type films, but he filmed them all down in the Florida Everglades. That was his stand-in for the jungles, and his movies all have like horror stuff, but they also have like scenes with dancing go-go girls and stuff. So this just seems like a crazy set to go through. Yeah. This one has 7 William Griffey films, all newly restored from the best surviving film elements. You got Sting of Death, Death Curse of Tartu, The Hooked Generation, The Psychedelic Priest, The Naked Zoo, Mako Jaws of Death, and Whiskey Mountain. A brand new extended version of Ballyhoo Motion Pictures' definitive documentary, They Came from the Swamp, the films of William Griffey. Original uncompressed mono audio for all films. A fully illustrated collector's booklet featuring an extensive, never-before published interview with William Griffey and a new foreword by the filmmaker. A reversible poster featuring newly commissioned artwork by the Twins of Evil. Reversible sleeves. Let's see. Sting of Death and Curse of Tartu have brand new introductions to the films by director William Griffey. Archival audio commentaries for both films with William Griffey and filmmaker Frank Henenlotter. Sting of Death Beyond the Movie, Monsters a Go-Go, a look into the history of rock and roll monster movies with author historian C. Courtney Joyner. Back again. Man, he has done he's been working overtime this month.
Yeah, he really has just taken over this one.
The Curious Case of Dr. Trudeau, Spook Show Extraordinaire, a ghoulish look into the early Spook Show days with monster maker Doug Hobart. Original trailers, still, and promotion gallery. And then for The Hook Generation and The Psychedelic Priest, we have archival audio commentaries for both films with director William Griffey and filmmaker Frank Henenlotter. Hook Generation behind-the-scenes footage, Hook Generation original trailer, still, and promotion gallery. And then for Naked Zoo and Mako Jaws of Death, we have William Griffey's original director's cut of Naked Zoo, the alternate Barry Mahon re-release cut, original Mako Jaws of Death trailer and promo, still in promotion gallery. And then for Whiskey Mountain and They Came from the Swamp extended cut, a Whiskey Mountain original trailer, still in promotion gallery, and They Came from the Swamp, the films of William Griffey, the definitive documentary presented for the first time in high definition and in a brand new extended cut. If you get a chance, go and look at the artwork for this set. It's really bold, bright colors, kind of psychedelic looking. It's really, really neat. And this one, it's about $80, so you're paying about
So it's you're averaging about like $11 a movie, I guess, close to it.
Yeah, so not bad.
Yeah.
I don't know how good these movies are. I mean, I'm sure they're probably pretty terrible, but just this is stuff you don't get to really see on Blu-ray and presented nicely like this. I'm always fascinated with these like underground films, but you're getting them in this really nice set. I think it's neat.
Yeah, see that's what I love about Arrow and Chow Factory. I mean, Arrow more so gets a little bit more obscure sometimes, I think, but I like those, and actually, Vinegar Syndrome really does it. You know, where they get these sets that are just like really nice sets that you would not normally think would ever get a box set for. You know, but
yeah.
they find a way. So,
and you think about it, you're probably never gonna go out and seek out these titles individually, if they even make them individually. So I just think it's a fun set to kind of go through, just like we were doing with our Friday the 13th sets. Just want to sit down and just go through it. You know, I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. And which I'm basically, as soon as we're done with this horror challenge, I'm gonna start the Friday the 13th set as a side project along with my Amityville one. So
yeah, same here. So we'll recap November 24th. We had the Train of Busan Presents Peninsula, which was Brian's pick of the week, and my pick of the week, Arrow's new box set of He Came from the Swamp, the William Griffey collection, 1966 to 1977. So that wraps up November, and that heads us into the holiday season. So put some of those on your wish list, and we'll get ready for the next Discmemberment. Will be Christmas time, so we'll see what's coming out for the holidays.
yes.
All right, guys, so we will see you back here next month. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to our kind of off-the-wall, tired commentary this evening. But we're recording late, so forgive us. But yeah, hope these... We've heard that our Discmemberments people enjoy because they are a little more kind of off the cuff. So
yeah,
hopefully you got something out of this.
Yeah, I'm sure you got some things.
You got something. All right, guys. We'll see you back here next week. Next month.
Yeah.
Yeah.